Asia is the future. It's not just a trend, it's a global shift. The world's most powerful economies, cutting-edge technology, and the fastest-growing markets are all in Asia. From China to India, Southeast Asia to Japan, this region is transforming everything: business, culture, and even geopolitics. In this video, we'll break down 10 reasons why Asia is set to dominate the world in the coming decades. So let's dive in and see why Asia is the future of everything. Number 1. Economic growth powerhouse. When we think of the global economy, Asia is now the first place to look. Over the past few decades, countries like China, India, and Southeast Asia have transformed from emerging markets to economic powerhouses. China, for instance, has grown from an economy that was barely on the radar in the 1980s to the second largest economy in the world today. In fact, China's economy has grown at an average rate of 10% per year over the last 30 years. Talk about incredible growth. But it's not just China. India, with its massive population of over 1.4 billion people, is now one of the world's largest economies and is projected to surpass the United States as the second largest economy by 2030. Southeast Asia, with its young and increasingly educated workforce, is growing fast too. Countries like Vietnam, Indonesia, and the Philippines have been seeing impressive growth rates. The International Monetary Fund predicts that Asia will contribute to more than 60% of global GDP growth in the next decade. Why is this important? The sheer scale of this economic growth means Asia is driving global trade, innovation, and investment in ways the West simply can't keep up with. Asia's economic dominance will continue to shape the future of the global economy. Number 2. Technological innovation. Asia isn't just growing economically. It's also leading the charge when it comes to technology. Take China, for example. It's quickly becoming the world leader in areas like artificial intelligence, 5G technology, and even space exploration. China is expected to spend more on AI than the US by 2025, an incredible shift in power. And it's not just about China. South Korea and Japan have long been technological leaders, from electronics to robotics. South Korea's Samsung is one of the most innovative tech companies on the planet, while Japan's robotics industry is creating the future of automation. In fact, Japan is the home of the world's first fully automated factories and is pioneering the use of robots in everyday life, from caregiving to customer service. Asia's ability to innovate has even affected the West. Companies like Tesla and Apple are increasingly looking to Asia not just for manufacturing, but for inspiration. Take the Chinese smartphone market, for example. Chinese companies like Huawei, Xiaomi, and Oppo have taken the lead in cutting-edge tech, especially in 5G and smartphones. These companies are now pushing Apple and Samsung to be more innovative, not the other way around. Number 3. Rising middle class. As Asia's economies grow, so does its middle class. According to the Asian Development Bank, Asia's middle class is expected to number 3.5 billion by 2030, a huge jump from just 500 million in 2009. This means more people with disposable income looking to spend on everything from electronics to travel. This rising middle class is creating an economic revolution. Let's look at China again. Its consumer market is the largest in the world. In 2020, Chinese consumers spent over $5 trillion, and that figure is only going to rise as more people join the middle class. India is following a similar path, with hundreds of millions of people expected to enter the middle class in the coming decades. With all these new consumers comes massive opportunities for businesses. Think about the companies that are already capitalizing on this. Apple, for example, earns a huge chunk of its revenue from China. The rise of Asia's middle class means more opportunities for global businesses to tap into new markets. And it's a trend that's only going to continue. Number 4, the Belt and Road Initiative. One of China's most ambitious projects is the Belt and Road Initiative, BRI, which aims to improve trade and investment flows between Asia, Europe, and Africa by building infrastructure such as highways, railways, ports, and airports. It's like a modern-day Silk Road, connecting countries across the continents. So far, China has invested billions into BRI, and it's expected to invest another $8 trillion in the coming decades. The BRI isn't just about China. It's about creating a new global trade network that will center around Asia. And it's working. Countries in Asia, Africa, and even Europe are benefiting from better infrastructure, which helps them grow their own economies. For example, in Pakistan, the Gwadar port is being developed with Chinese investment, turning it into a key player in global shipping. In the long run, this initiative will make Asia an even bigger player in global trade, and it'll shift the balance of power, giving Asia more economic influence and creating new markets for its products and services. Number 5. Geopolitical influence. As Asia's economic power grows, so does its geopolitical influence. Countries like China and India are becoming more assertive on the global stage. China's growing military and diplomatic influence is challenging U.S. dominance, particularly in Asia-Pacific. India, with its strong democracy and rapidly growing economy, is also becoming more influential in global politics. Take the South China Sea, for example. China's claim to large portions of this vital trade route has sparked tension with several countries in the region, including Vietnam, the Philippines, and even the United States. This ongoing geopolitical struggle demonstrates Asia's rising importance in global politics. India, too, is flexing its muscles. As a rising economic and military power, it's becoming a counterbalance to China's influence in the region. India's Look East policy is strengthening its ties with Southeast Asia, Japan, and Australia, positioning it as a leader in regional security and trade. Number 6. Cultural power. Asia is a cultural powerhouse. Think about how K-pop, anime, and Asian cuisine have taken over the world. K-pop groups like BTS and Blackpink have millions of fans worldwide, transcending language barriers and making a global impact. And it's not just music. Asian movies and TV shows are also gaining massive popularity, with films like Parasite winning Academy Awards and shows like Money Heist becoming global phenomena. But the cultural influence of Asia goes even deeper. Asian cuisine, from sushi to pho to dim sum, has become mainstream in many Western countries. In fact, according to the U.S. Census Bureau, Asian food is now the most popular ethnic cuisine in the U.S. Cultural influence isn't just about entertainment and food. It's also about ideas. Asian philosophy, wellness practices like yoga and meditation, and traditional healing techniques are becoming more mainstream as people around the world look for ways to lead healthier, more balanced lives. Number 7. Leadership in sustainability. Asia is also emerging as a global leader in sustainability. China, the world's largest emitter of CO2, is also investing heavily in renewable energy. In fact, China is leading the world in solar power production and is quickly becoming the global leader in wind energy too. As of 2021, China produces more than a third of the world's solar panels. But it's not just China. Countries like India and Japan are investing in green technologies as well. India's solar energy sector is one of the fastest growing in the world, and Japan is a leader in energy-efficient technologies like hydrogen fuel cells. Asia's focus on sustainable development is not only helping the planet, but is also opening up new industries and job opportunities. The global push for a greener future will continue to give Asian countries an edge in the years to come. Number 8. A growing global talent pool. Asia is home to some of the world's most talented and educated people. Countries like China, India, South Korea, and Singapore have invested heavily in education, producing large numbers of skilled workers in fields like engineering, science, and technology. For example, India is known for its world-class engineers, and Chinese universities are producing more STEM graduates than almost any other country. This growing pool of talent is not only boosting Asia's innovation, but also attracting multinational companies looking to tap into these highly skilled workers. Countries like Singapore and South Korea are already leading the way in high-tech industries, while China and India are rapidly catching up. Number 9. Strategic location for global trade. Asia's geographic location makes it a central hub for global trade. Major shipping routes pass through Asia, and the region is home to some of the world's busiest ports, like Shanghai, Singapore, and Hong Kong. This makes Asia a crucial player in the global supply chain, and it's a trend that's only going to continue as the region becomes more interconnected. China's ambitious plans for the Belt and Road Initiative are also increasing Asia's role in global trade by improving infrastructure across the continent. The strategic location of Asian countries in key shipping routes, from the South China Sea to the Indian Ocean, gives them immense power in terms of global commerce. Number 10. Youthful population. Asia is home to the world's largest and youngest population. According to the UN, 60% of the world's population under the age of 30 lives in Asia. This demographic dividend means that Asia has a huge labor force and consumer base to drive economic growth for years to come. India, in particular, is benefiting from its youthful population, with an average age of just 28. This gives the country a distinct advantage, as younger people tend to be more innovative and open to change. With a young workforce and a growing middle class, India is set to become a major player on the global stage in the coming decades. Asia is already leading the charge, and it's only going to get bigger. From economic growth to technological breakthroughs, cultural influence to a rising middle class, this region is shaping the future. The West may have led the way in the past, but the future is clearly in Asia's hands. So, what's next? It's time to pay attention to this unstoppable force. Asia is here, and it's taking over. Let me know what you think in the comments. And if you want more insights into the rise of Asia, hit that subscribe button and stay tuned for more.